substance, this one right here, right? So now we're about to put our letters into Substance Painter. And I'm gonna show you both ways just to show you. So we have our Cinema 4D way and the Houdini way. I mean, Houdini letters. So yeah. So I'm gonna go to File, New, Select, then I'm gonna go find my letters. Um, hmm. Oh yeah, so I'm gonna go to the logo to H, which is the ones out of Cinema 4D. It should automatically look like this, but if it doesn't, just look at what I have here. And then here are the letters, all right? Now, here's the beauty about the UDIMs. So if I click right here and go to 3D, 2D, we can see that it's all spread across these UDIM tiles. So I was wrong, right? It was, see, I thought it was 5 just because of all the other stuff I had seen, but it does go to 10, right? So basically you can fill this up 100 times, right? I wonder if, I'm sure people get to 100. I just haven't myself. So let me go to 3D and, you know, if I paint this line, it paints across everything. Looks good. Cool. So let's look at our Avengers logo, right? It's got some purple kind of stuff going on. I don't know. But let's, oh yeah, first things first, we have to go to texture set settings. And I'll show you why, right? If I go over here and I get myself a material, let's say concrete dusty. And I put this over here. So now I have this kind of look. And we see what it looks like now. But if I don't bake the textures, then I'm not gonna get it. So to bake the textures, we have to go to texture set settings, bake mesh maps. And then we go over here and go to 2048 and then go to bake selected textures. And you should see a difference. Oh no, we will see a difference. So it's going through and it's looking at every letter and it's saying, oh, what's close to this letter? Oh, how's the light gonna react if it's at this angle? But it's mainly like calculating the occlusion. Well, no, I'm sure it's doing a whole bunch of other stuff that I don't know. But I just know that that everything looks better once you bake the textures. But remember, we have less UDIM tiles on this, so this will look different than the one in Houdini. It'll be a little bit lower resolution, just because we didn't take as much time with the UV. So okay, so it looks pretty cool, right? Now let me go over here and let me look at this again. So it's got a purple kind of look, right? So I'm gonna go to my concrete and doesn't look like we have any type of purple, right? But what we do have is we have the bump and all that other stuff. And also if we take this and scale this up and down, we can get a little bit more of that look. Because if you look at this, it looks kind of like that, sort of. So I'll take this and what I'll do is I'll disable the color channel, right? So this is just the default concrete material, and I'll go do something called add a fill layer. And so right here, it has the properties of height, normal, rough, and metal. And just like this has metal, rough, and height. So this has all the height we need. Oh yeah, and speaking of height and dirt, let me disable this real quick. I'll name it color. Perfect, right? And I'll just disable the eyeball, right? But I'll go back to this just to show you. If we go to height position and look at what this is doing, 0.5 is what it is. And let's see what it's doing. And then we go to height range. So we see what the range is doing, right? Kind of giving it a little bit more pop. Normal intensity. Don't know what it's doing really. We'll see what it's doing. And I kind of like, you just got to find that sweet spot with this. And then also we have scale, right? So it says 3.97. Oh yeah, I already messed with scale. I'm tripping. All right, so we have this Height position. So what I'm doing is, if you can see, I'm just using this to like tone it down just a touch, you know. We just want to give it a little bit of love. All right, so we have this right here, and I can go to this perp, and I can do is disable these, and then I can go to this color, and I can give it a purple color. Let's look at this, just so I'm not, so that's like a dark purple. So we can do something like this. Now check this out. I can right click on this and I can do add a black mask. So what it did is it put a mask over this. So it's like the color's there, but it's almost like dust on a window, and then you put your finger on it and you swipe, and then you can see what the window looks like under it. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get myself a brush. So click on this brush right here, or not actually, right click and go to I think I had this right. Is it add paint? I think it is, right? Yeah. So I'll just click right here, and what I'll do is I'll get myself a brush, like one of these. Let's go to dirt spot to see what happens, right? So now you see what's happening, right? I can paint on this. Instead of getting the dirt spot, I'll just go ahead and get this basic hard brush, and I'll paint this. And because those UVs over did that thing where it what do you call it? Where it duplicated to the back, we shouldn't have to touch the back. The end's got some funky UVs, but then again, this is the cinema UV. So I'm just going to paint this up right here. And when we get to areas like this, let's say, I mean, we could actually paint this whole thing, but I just kind of, you know, I'm thinking we might just paint the whole thing. Actually, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna just select this, and to get the whole thing to have a color, we just go to what is it? We go to this right here, polygon fill. And this, if we click on each one of these, it's gonna just fill that polygon. But if we click on this, it gives us the whole letter. Something weird with that UV, I think. So now we're filling in the whole letter. All right. So the whole thing's purple, right? You know what, I was thinking graffiti wise for the other one. That's why I didn't, that's why I was trying to like paint half of it. Because in graffiti, we paint half of it and start fading up the other color. But we're gonna do something similar, right? So this is what we have right here for this perp. I'm gonna control click, copy this, and I'm gonna name this light purple, right? So I'm gonna take this one and I'm going to go over here. I'm gonna clear this mask. I'm gonna add another mask. Oh, wait. Yeah, okay. I cleared the mask, so the mask is there, but it just doesn't have any of the selections that this one had. You know what, just for good practice, I'll just delete this mask. So I'll remove this mask and I'll just add another one. But before I do that, I'm gonna take this purple color and I'm gonna make it a little bit lighter. So it's gonna be like this. All right. So remember, this one is overlaying that one. So what I'm gonna do is right click, add a black mask. And instead of choosing the colors, you know, I'm going to get myself a brush. So I'll go over here, click on the brush. And now if I paint on this, you see we have this brush. But instead of using that brush, I'm gonna go get me a cool brush. Like let's say artistic brushing. So now I can like do a little bit of fading. And the cool thing about this is if I get too heavy with it, well, we have options for our brush. So I can do stroke opacity, so I can make it light, like super subtle. Like you can barely see it on that E, but it's there. Or I can make it like heavy. And then with the brush, you see the pattern, how it looks like it's kind of horizontal. I can go over here and switch this up and change it so it's got an angle. And sometimes I would paint and then I'll say, oh, you know what? Let me change the angle. With this, since, you know, time's a factor, I'll just run over this, kind of make it like that a little bit. Cool, I'm liking it. Wait, actually, let me look at my reference. Oh, I did that all wrong. It should have been the light on the top. Yeah, but whatever. This is our custom Avenger logo. So I'm painting it. I'm loving it. Right. But then let's say, man, my middle fade, I don't really like the position of it. Or it's not like fading as nice as I like. I can just go ahead and get myself a well, there's two things you can do. You can select this and then you can go to this grayscale color and then you can turn it to black, which will then erase what you already painted. And since I'm erasing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my opacity, take it down to 50%. So now if I fade it, it'll be a more subtle fade. And I could actually take it down a little bit more. Let's take it down to like 21. Let's see. And then I can also increase the size of the brush. There's some shortcuts for that too, but I can't remember them at this moment. So now I'm getting like a subtle fade. Like I said, I've been doing this for a while, so I can do it fast. Y'all might want to take your time. And then, you know, the last thing I'll do for this, just for this, I'll copy this one. Oh, you know what? I just control clicked and did that. I didn't know I could do that. So remember, I'll just remove this mask and then I'll go to this and I'll do deeper purple like that. And then I'll just do the same thing. Right click, add a black mask. Go ahead, get myself a yeah, right click that. Yeah, and then I'll just make this part darker. At the top. And I'm just tapping. I don't know if you can hear me. Let me put my mic next to my mouse. Well, hopefully y'all can hear that. I'm just tapping away. And there we go. And then you know the beauty of these colors right here? If I wanted to, I can go ahead and change it like this because it's a mask, you know? Anyway, so we have that right here. And then there's another way where I can go in and get the little 3D area, but you know, I guess I'll have to do that later due to time. But one beautiful thing about this is, let's say you're doing something and you want to have some custom letters. Oh yeah, so I went right here, clicked on this, send it to iRay. And if you hold down Shift and right click, we can rotate the this dome light, which will give us a different look. You know, we can have our shadows looking like it's coming from the left, from the right, from the back, you know, all that. And then we could also click on this and we can choose a different HDRI And then there's ways to change it too. So this is like a studio one, and this will give us a different look. There's like one in the forest, I think. Oh no, some road. This exposure's on 0. But if I take it to 1 for a HDRI image like this, we can get it to look like what it really is supposed to look like. Oh, let's just keep it on 0. And then let's just go to another one. I like this one. Well, it depends on what we're doing. And then the texture of it too, because it needs to be like fitting. There's like a beach one. Glazed patio. Like I said, for me, I'd probably go in and make that a little bit more, well, that sucks. Villa. Yeah, I'd probably make it more shiny. There's definitely a lot more I would do to this. Bus garage is always a winner that I've seen. Yeah, we could do something like this, let's say. And then we have our ground right here, which we can raise up. Which will also give us a different look because it's like saying, oh, we're close to the ground. All right, so we have this. And then what we can do is, if you want, you can go to clear color and then change this color, which will also give us another look. Because the background will reflect off the letters. So is it? It's like purple. It goes to like orange, right? That's the complementary color. I like it when this is like a wheel. They don't have it in this though. Or maybe they used to. I think they used to. Yeah, it's got this square thing now, but I think it used to have like the circle where you could choose. And I like looking at the circle because you could like choose whatever the opposite color was. Or the I'm losing the names of it. What's that thing with the 3 colors? Complementary colors? I forget. The idea is there, but my terminology is all off. Yeah, but you can do something like this. Ooh. So this is the shift right click. So I'm just rotating that dome. As you can see, that shadow. You know what it is? I'm really just trying to zoom in. I meant to press Alt. Yeah, and then you can have something like this. And then the beauty of this right here is if you want to take it, like you want to have some custom logo or font or whatever you want, right? You could take this and then you save it. So you got to go to this right here. No, wait. Go this, no, this, yeah, this. And then I like to let it render for a little bit. So I might put it on, instead of 10 seconds, I might put it on like 1 minute. And I'll let the little thing time up. Right now it's on like 15, whatever. And then what I'll do is I'll save it because in the end you can save it. You can actually override the resolution and make it really large. But of course, you know, you got to have a good computer because I mean, you could experiment with it, but it might lock up. And my computer is a beast. And I tried to make some really big renders and it locked it up. I forget how large I was going. I was going like really large, like 16K or something stupid like that. But yeah, then you could save it. You could save it as JPEG. You could save it as a PNG, and then you could just go in and then to Photoshop, and then just trace this or whatever and cut it out, and then you just have these letters, and then you can put them on anything, and that could be for any logo you want, you know. So there's a lot of options with this. Let me go back to this. And before I go, I just want to show one thing, just because the texture is bothering me. But since all of these, if we look at these colors, are just the color. So this is a color, that's a color, this is a color, but this has our metal and our roughness. So if I was to, oh, maybe I can't do it with this one. Okay, here it is, right? So I just took off this roughness, which this material just doesn't have a roughness parameter. But if it did, we could like adjust it. If I take off this roughness right here, now we have like a shinier look, you know? And then there's ways that we could add it in to like tone this down or to amplify it, but it'll just give you a whole different look. You see? Now it's got like a glossy kind of feel, which will react to the light differently too. So yeah, but you can just go in here, save this out, and you're done.